It's like sometimes I don't feel like I can tell everybody, oh, I'm going to go get a massage. Oh, I'm going to go get like a Himalayan salt bath. Oh, I'm going to go get, these things. So it's like, oh no, I'm just about to go home. You sometimes you just don't even share.
And that has nothing to do with you. Like, it's all them. If you can't relate, what I'm supposed to do?
That's one thing I'm working on.
Like, because you can't relate, what am I think, if anything, because you can't relate, I do my best when I'm in spaces, especially with young girls, where I feel like I'm saying something that goes over their head, and whether that be in self-care and how you should feel about yourself and dreams and ambitions. If you never see it, then you never know that it's obtainable. So in that moment where you feel like they can't relate, I always try to break it down in the simplest form. I'll use this for example, my aunt. My aunt is like, why are you spending so much money on these flowers? Like, you can just get the money. Like, why are you spending so much money on these flowers? And I'm like, well, when you walk into your house and you see fresh florals, like, it really brightens my day. Like, it really makes me feel like, okay, I made it home to my sanctuary with these fresh flowers. And at first she didn't get it, but when I explained to her, I'm not spending a lot of money on Tuesdays, and don't y'all be at the store on Tuesdays. I don't want to see you.
Where?
On Tuesdays at Central Market, they have dollar roses. All the roses are $1. And so I noticed that all the other women, they were in there picking up their roses for $1, making their bouquets. And so I started going to Tuesdays at Central Market and making my bouquets. I may have spent $30 for 30 roses, which is not a lot of money.
No, it's
I'm
actually
gonna accidentally spend $30 eating.
That's like substituting one thing like for another, and it's really just about how you choose. It's so funny because it's like I'm saying this, I'm having an epiphany. It's like how you spend your money in some ways speaks volumes about how you feel about yourself, right? Like, you're choosing to spend your money on some of these things because you feel that you are deserving of some of those things. And maybe for some people who opt not to do it, it's because they subconsciously feel like, oh, I don't need that. I don't need any fresh flowers. I don't need a higher thread count sheet.
But you do.
I
Because
don't
they're
need.
gonna rip in the dryer. They're gonna tear up. And I tell people that all the time. You can buy. And this
So you actually saving yourself money by buying more expensive things.
I love Amazon. Don't get me wrong. I love Amazon.
Come on now. What
do.
you about to say about Amazon?
I love Amazon. Your whole wardrobe can't be Amazon, though. Because it's Polly and Esther. The whole wardrobe is sisters, Polly and Esther. And if we know anything about Polly and Esther, is that they don't hold together well. You have 1 or 2 washes, and then that's it. You have to have clothes in your wardrobe when we talk about sustaining things, because if you buy something that's $40 and you buy it 7 different times,
That's true.
you might as well just have bought the stuff that was a little bit more and kept it.
That's true. You're right. No,
And don't get me started on cheap shoes. They gonna lean to the left always. They gonna lean with you, and don't gain no weight, because then they gonna lean both ways. You can't stand up straight in no straight shoes and no cheap shoes. There's no way. The cap's gonna come off the bottom of them, and so you spend $40 on Amazon, Fashion Nova, wherever. But how long are those shoes gonna last you?
No.
Are you gonna have to buy another pair next season?
You will.
You will.
That's true.
Because they're gonna be runneth over.
So how can we, you brought up a very interesting point about a lot of this is attached to women just not feeling like they deserve
Black women. Black women feeling like they don't deserve. Because when I talk to other women from other cultures, they have no problem. They're at the spa every week. And not Massage Jimmy, the Post Oak Spa. They get their Botox. They're at the they get their IV vitamin shots.
Where do you think that comes from, though?
It is how we're raised. It is how we're raised. We never saw that. I never saw that. My mom never said anything to me about Botox. The first time my mom went to a spa was because my aunt and I took her. And she didn't know what the heck was going on.
Because
she was like, what?
Even when I ask my mom, like, hey, you want to go to the nail shop? She'll say, oh, yeah, but you know what? I could really use that money for something else. It's like, no, just get the
nails.
Get the nails.
Get the nails. I've told my mom,
I love click-clacking on my computer.
That's my favorite thing to do. And even when my mom did go to the nail shop, it didn't look anything like the nail shops that I go to now.
Right.
No, they were still using that cheese grater.
Yeah.
At the bottom of your foot.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I definitely think it's such generational differences. I think that we are probably the generation that is starting to make that shift, because I don't have children, but I have a bonus daughter, and I can see them doing things. And you spoke a little bit about this, and I'm going to talk about this next, because you do a lot of mentorship. I feel like I have not given enough attention to that. I want to come back to that. But we see younger girls doing things that we did not do. I mean, like, they are like in the nail shops, they're like getting their eyebrows done, they're like going to the dermatologist. I
Yeah.
remember, like, when I was a child, like, if you had a breakout, it's like, drink some water.
Go put some toothpaste on it.
Go put, like, we like drying out bumps, you know? And it's not, it just wasn't a thing, you know? And now, you know, kids are, female children, I say, they're just doing all of the things that we didn't get to do. So we hope for a world where they grow up and they become our age and they don't feel unworthy of these things because they've always had these things. And for us, it's kind of unlearning some of the practices that we saw.
It's unlearning and telling yourself that it's okay for me to have these things, even though I didn't start with these things. Like, it's perfectly fine for me to have things that I did not start with. And whether that be trips, whether that be financial security, whether that be emotional intelligence from partners, whether that be security within your own self to feel safe within your own space. Even if I didn't have these things, it's okay for me to have them.
Even if I didn't
start with them.
And I think, too, like, we talk a lot about other people not allowing us the space to evolve and grow, but I think a lot of times we don't allow ourselves the space or the opportunity to evolve. Like, it's okay for us not to be who we were some years ago. It's okay for us not to be who we were some days ago, right? It's okay for our minds to change. Maybe a couple of years ago, I thought I didn't need to go get massages or I didn't need to go to the fancy nail shop. But it's okay 2 years later to have changed my mind.
Like, she was like, no, but you use your face a lot for facial expressions and you're creating frown lines in your forehead. And I was like, she just told me my forehead was big. That's what she told me. I was like, she came up here and she told me my forehead was big. But what she was saying is that preventatively, if we start now, when I actually do need the Botox, I probably won't need it or I'll need very little. So let's start now as a preventative measure. That blew my mind. What I was growing up told is that Botox was for white people, or the one time on Girlfriends when Tony got that Botox and her whole face was stuck like that. Insert a clip of that when, like, she was like, and it was just stuck. So I'm in there nervous, like, oh my God, I'm about to mess up my face.
Or it's also like this idea that if you want to do anything that is not accepted, like in Black culture, that you are trying to appeal to like European standards of beauty, or you're acting like a white girl, or you're acting, you don't want to be Black. You know, we've heard all of the things in terms, you must don't like yourself.